Carl Leidig. The name of his speech is Crucible. Crucible, Carl Leidig.
Mr. Contest Master, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. For those of you that have been coming to this club for a while know that I'm a fairly regular attender, but I've missed many of the last several meetings because I do a lot of traveling for work. When I travel for work, usually out of state, if I have the opportunity, I like to visit other Toastmasters clubs to see how they operate and see if there's something that I can learn in the way they operate in those clubs. So this is something that I'm going to be doing in 2 weeks, and also I've done it in the past few weeks. All of us know that Toastmasters is about learning about communication skills in a supportive, non-threatening environment. But one of the clubs that I visited recently feels that in order to take your speeches to the next level in the shortest possible time, it is necessary to make every meeting a crucible so that it most closely matches what you can expect to find in real life. Let me give some examples. As you know, we have oral evaluations in the club. We usually use the sandwich approach. And the oral evaluator usually begins by saying something that's nice about the speech, something that was good and positive, and concludes with something good and positive. And in the middle, make some suggestions for improvement. This club that I visited feels that that doesn't work. They take their inspiration from speeches. For example, the President of the United States often gives addresses. And following his speech, there's an evaluation of his speech by the opposition. Do you think the opposition uses the sandwich approach? I don't think so. They use all their allotted time to rip that speech and to dissect it. And in like manner, this is what this other club does. This other club also feels that immediate feedback is very important. It isn't always good to wait for the oral evaluation which occurs several minutes after the speech has already been given. And again, they take their inspiration from a recent State of the Union speech where the president gave his speech. And somebody in the audience realized that what he thought he heard was a flaw or a factual error. So rather than waiting to evaluate it at the end, he yelled out, "Liar!" So in like manner, this club doesn't make people wait until the end of the meeting to evaluate. The audience is welcome to chime in at any time to give their feedback. For members of this club that have been here for a while know that we use auditory signals, even during the speech, to let people know if they've been doing something that perhaps that they shouldn't be doing. Usually we keep it restricted to table topics, but it could be used for speeches as well. So we have beans and we throw it into a can. An auditory signal that perhaps somebody has said an ah or an This club that I visited feels that that's totally ineffective. Just look at our club. We keep doing ahs and ums. We keep filling the can. This club feels that it's necessary to have a much more stimulating and longer auditory signal for the transgressions that occur. This club has something that's commensurate with the transgressions that they hear. So for every ah and or the person will remember it and will correct their behavior. So after observing these changes, I think that these are something that I commend to this club to consider, and I'd like to make a motion that our executive committee take up these changes at the next meeting and I'm personally donating this for that purpose. Mr. Contest Manager.